I need you to preference for the brothers and sisters what we were following in Africa. And what is that religion or what is that ideology?
I just answered that in my last conversation. Okay. Religion did not have a name because it was not religion, it was culture. The worship of one of the first deities on earth was the worship of Ptah, P-T-A-H, and Nile Valley culture. Predates the Bible by millions of years.
Okay.
We didn't have formal religions that we got. That is an invention. That is an invention of invaders.
Okay, brother. I'm just trying to.
Are you aware of the Nicaean Council, brother? Are you aware, of the Nicaean Council?
Sir.
In 325 AD, when Emperor Constantine came into Nile Valley and kidnapped African priests and priestesses.
Mr. Johnson,
and fabricated the Bible from the original African spiritual teaching.
Hey, sir. That's fine. What I'm going to ask you now, you answered.
I got a quick question for you.
Sir.
Now you heard this man quote some 2 million years. Now, I'm not even going to go on a long rant about this ignorant statement. And he talking about Constantine in 325 when he kidnapped some African priests. What is you talking about, man? None of this stuff is facts. You don't know what the heck you talking about, man. The Romans fell in 193. The Israelites took back over. It wasn't no freaking Africans doing anything. Where are you coming about these Africans? The Greeks, when they took over that, the Edomites, the so-called white man, when they took over that land, and it wasn't no Africans. Them jokers was on the run. Tall Ethiopian, Sudan. They went down there to Sudan, and the so-called white man was focusing on the Israelites because they knew we was the big, bad tribe on the scene. Nobody was dealing with us. Just like now, nobody is messing with us. They not worried about who in Sudan and who in Africa. The so-called white man ain't caring about who in Africa, man. They focusing on the Negroes here in America. They focusing on the Hispanics, South America. They is not focusing on none of them, no Africans. Whoever you want to call an African, because they ain't Africans, they Hamites. But that's not the focus. The focus is on us. We the top. When you look at our music, who is operating the music? Who invented the Industrial Revolution? We was inventing all that stuff, not no freaking Africans, man. And then he want to believe the white man talking about 3 million years. They don't got no evidence on no 3 million years, man. You sitting up there listening to the white man. See, he just an agent for the white man. They don't see when these people that go to college, they go to the Skull and Bone Illuminati. They all go through the same ritual. That's why he know about it. That's why he was the first one pushing that crap out, because he know all about it. Because he had to go through the crap. Talking about some 3 million years. You got no evidence of no 3 million years. There's no test, calculation, whatever the heck you want to do. A stupid human that barely can remember his last name, get drunk and high, barely know what the heck going on, man. You can't remember no 3 million years. Shut up. And when it comes to Constantine, Constantine was a certified Israelite. Just because you want to believe the so-called white man, when he painted all the pictures and showed himself as the Byzantine Empire, no. In 193, it was a so-called dark-skinned man that took over the situation. And he was an Israelite because they was just ruling over the Israelites. Then when the apostles died, and these so-called Edomites, so-called white men, they fell. They was killing each other, committing incest. They fell out of power. They was taken out of power in 193. The Israelites took over. That's why you had that whole nation, the whole Roman Empire. Them jokers was dealing with the Bible, the records of the Israelites. Then, see, then Constantine pops up on the scene to cement that Byzantine Empire, and the Israelites went to reigning all the way to 1492. What is this nigga? What is he talking about, man? No Africans were doing anything. Stinking Africans, man. Them jokers wasn't doing nothing. They were down there with that crazy voodoo. That's the only thing they were doing. Worshiping them stupid false gods that ain't got no power, that nobody ain't said nothing about. Why didn't they religion take over the Roman Empire? Why didn't they faith take over the Roman Empire? Because they ain't saying nothing. It's a bold-faced lie. And the Greeks was on these African gods. The Romans was on the African gods, Saturn, and all these remakes of the Egyptian gods. Because when the Greeks took over Egypt, you got Cleopatra and all that was doing the Greek takeover of Egypt. When they took over them people's stuff and started worshiping their gods, who kicked they behind? In 193, the Israelites knocked all that crap out the way, man. Talking about some African mess. That they all got knocked out the way. Everybody got Jesus in their mouth, which that's a false name, but they got it in their mouth. They got the king of Israel in their mouth. All over the world, they got the king of Israel in their mouth. The God of the descendants of slaves, the king of the descendants of slaves, and the Hispanics and natives that was over here before these dragons came over here. Certified history, man. What are these dudes talking about? They got no kind of nothing to stand on. Talking about 3 million years. You don't know nothing about no 3 million years. And first of all, you don't know nothing about no African anything because you can't translate none of that stuff. There's no people over there that's translating stuff and breaking stuff down for you Negroes. They don't like you Negroes. They call y'all a cotters and a bunch of cotton pickers because they jealous that you was a better tribe than them. You was a better people than them. They just sold you to the certified white man. What is you talking about? You Negroes talking about Africa. Africa ain't nothing, man. That don't mean nothing. That's a white man came up with some darn name for himself, or people around him call him Africa. They're like a bunch of Negroes hanging around their group and they give a Negro a name, a nickname for whatever he did. He went down there, Afrikaners went down there and conquered the northern part of so-called Africa, and they named it after him. They gave him a name of going down into the sunny land. When you look at Afrikaners, it's the word, the Greek or the Latin word is Afrikaners. Afrikaners means sunny. He went down there and conquered the sunny land, the land where the sun is shining. So they named him after that, Afrikaners. Then another dragon, so-called white man, made a poem called Africa. He the first one came up with that word Africa. Nobody was talking about Africa until the Francesco in the 1300. He came up with the poem Africa. And this is where all that came from. The Romans. Who was the Romans persecuting? They was persecuting the Israelites. It wasn't no freaking Africans nowhere around, man. They were way down south. Egypt is below Israel. Israel is when the Punic Wars was being fought. They was fighting all around Israel. In Syria, Damascus. That's where the war been going on for thousands of years. They wasn't in no heart of Africa. The Africans don't even possess some of that land. Some of that land is uninhabitable. And them animals and mosquitoes will eat your behind up. They only operating in certain parts of the land. They was up in the Syria, Damascus, Babylon, Israel. They was in those areas conquering. They was not down there in Africa. Them jokers couldn't even hang in Africa because they got leprosy and their skin won't let them be in Africa. They have to go up north, stay up north. And when they went down to conquer, they'll leave a couple of people and run they behind right back up north to Italy, to France, to Rome, to Greece, and all these up northern countries. Turkey, Poland, Germany. They was not no down there in Africa, man. And them jokers was the ruling government. Alexander the Freak and the Roman Caesars. They had the iron soldiers and weapons whooping everybody behind. It was no history or no Africans, man. What are you talking about? Before the Greeks, it was the Persians. The Persians was shutting stuff down, man. Africans doing nothing. The Persians was whooping they behind. Them Africans go way back to Babylon and Assyria. That's about 3,000 years ago since the Africans did anything. What are you talking about? Somebody plagiarizing something? Ain't nobody plagiarizing what happened during the Roman. 2,000 years ago, wasn't no Africans doing nothing. The Romans was ruling, and we was the one that they was enslaving. We was the one they was focusing on, because they knew we had the real power. They know before then they couldn't do nothing with us. They knew the Greeks couldn't do nothing with us. They was trying to exterminate us. During the Persian Empire, they were trying to exterminate us. Even the stinking Africans, the only ones that came and took us because God told Nebuchadnezzar that he can go down there and conquer them. He wouldn't have went down there and conquered them if it weren't for the Israelites going off. So it's no history with some Africans doing some major stuff. Nebuchadnezzar is the only joker that they can even throw out there, man, and Nimrod. Nimrod wasn't barely doing nothing. Talking about a freaking African. These Hamites ain't had no major power, man, but the Babylonian Empire, Assyria, and Nimrod. Outside of that, they wasn't doing nothing. And they stuff didn't last worth nothing. The only thing they were doing is pushing the false god. They had a purpose. And their purpose was over real quick. Because the Israelites went into their blessing, and these red dragons went into their blessing. Jacob and Esau, Isaac's children. The Hamites was done. With whatever they had, their situation was finished. He was done with these thinking Hamites, man. He was dealing with the so-called red man, the white man, the Esau, and he was dealing with the Israelites. That's the only people he was dealing with, was giving rulership to them. That's why they was reigning, taking over people's land. And man, it was only the Edomites, really, because this their kingdom. Them the only ones that was, after the Africans got off the power seat, which they probably weren't never on no power seat. The Africans only is in the story and considered in the history because they was used to go conquer Jerusalem. They was one of the first nations to deal with the Israelites. That's the only reason they in the story. Them stinking Hamites, man, they not even considered in the story. And then they the ones sold when the Israelites went down there to hide from these red dragons. They the ones snitched and told that them ain't our peoples and y'all can get these people. We gonna go and kidnap them from their land and go to war with them and drag them down here 500 a piece in chain to the door of no return and throw them behind on a ship and send them to the so-called white man so he could sell them for $200 over in Alabama, Mississippi, and New Orleans. Man, the history is clear, man. What are you niggas talking about? Some 3 million years. You can't prove that, man. That's some mess. A white man done told you and you want to run with it. Dr. Ben. Dr. Ben, that nigga don't know nothing. He an old blind man. Barely could see. What is he talking about? Oh, he done went to Egypt for 30 years. Don't nobody care about him going to Egypt. What you went to Egypt to do? The so-called white man control that land with the Arabs. And they'll whoop your behind, man. They don't let you do nothing. You go over there and beg to go, can I go see this? You can't go over there and run nothing. You a slave from America, and you gonna have to have the so-called white man walking with you and backing you up the whole time. My master right behind me. I want to go see them pyramids, master. If he don't even let you go see none of the evidence of nothing. He want to keep you deaf, dumb, and blind at all times. So what are you talking about? A Dr. Ben. He don't know nothing. Talking about let's go into this first this Exodus. Cause he don't try to prove, oh, in the Bible, I got a Bible stashed away. It's 350 versions of the Bible. No, the white man done changed the Bible 300 times. It's only one Bible. The King James Version. Because King James was from the tribe of Judah. He was a certified so-called black man. That was chapter 1. What is he talking about? Let's highlight this real quick. Show you how a fool would sit up here and lie. Oh, it's 350 versions of the Bible, and they said they built a pyramid. You a darn lie. Look at it. It say, therefore they set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities. See, he did not build no dang on pyramids. It said that they built cities. Cities is not a pyramid. So you Negroes is just talking out your back of your head. They built cities. Then it say in verse 14, it said, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage and mortar and brick and all manner of service in the field. See, they was in the field. They was making bricks. Where in the world are you talking about somebody built a pyramid? You don't know what they did. And if it wasn't pyramids built, they own people can build that crap. It's a bunch of Hamites, Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans. It was all kind of different Hamites that can build it. They didn't really need the Israelites like that to build what they wanted to build. But they did have the Israelites as slaves. But you talking about Mr. Ben, and y'all trying to prove a case by saying the pyramids was there before the Israelites got there. See, now you ain't standing on no kind of evidence. And then you gonna try to quote something out to say what the Bible say? Come on, man. Oh, I got it in my library. Yeah, you got it in your library, all right. You sound like a nigga, man. You sound like these the real nigga, the so-called white man. That's what you sound like, bro. Playing semantics. Well, I got it over here. Like a nigga say, I got money. Well, where your money at? Oh, I left my wallet at the house. See, that's a con man, boy. That's the ultimate con man. That dude say I got a Bible in my library and I don't know what it is. Come on, man. The Bible is clear. It's a King James version. It's they got some Bibles that was Catholic Bibles. They got Jewish Bibles. They got specific type of Bible. You know what kind of Bible you got. And it ain't a lot of versions. It was only a Greek translation and a Hebrew translation. Then you had you got the Septuagint that goes way back. Then you got the Dead Sea Scrolls. But they compare all these Bibles and make sure everything look about the same. Because they know, okay, we going to point you out for you changing the whole Bible. So the white man ain't totally ignorant where he just going to change it where you can pay it, see a big difference. You can see the difference if you know the Bible. But a person that don't know the Bible, they going to read it and they ain't going to know that he changed it. That's how close he keep the translation. He translate that thing on specific points like skin color. He gonna make sure everything in there that's talking about skin color, he gonna try to change it and make it seem like it ain't talking about skin color. It's only 2 or 3 verses that he can't touch. He couldn't touch. And then he gonna tell you something about these other nations. He gonna try to slip in where these other nations can be saved and not just the Israelites. So man, I'm gonna leave it there, man. But this dude got no evidence. The evidence is clear. Nowhere in the Bible did it say somebody created a pyramid. They was making bricks. They was building cities. Do we have to show some evidence of us building certain things in America? We don't got to give no evidence, man. We was the one that they was using to build the freaking city. We ain't got to say, oh, we built this bridge was here before y'all got here. It's just some ignorant mess. You can't even get your mind around it because it's just ignorant. We know that these people want to follow the so-called white man. He called us Africans, so we Africans. He called us black, so we black. He called us African Americans, so we African Americans. He called us Hispanics, we Hispanics. Whatever the white man called us, that's what we is. We ain't gonna be nothing else but what he called us. See, that's a nigga for you, man. That's a raccoon. That's the real coon. That's why I called him in my other video the raccoon consciousness. He the coon consciousness. He gonna try to make it seem like he for the people when he's a coon, man. He out there working for the white man, trying to lie and scheme to because just Farrakhan. See, Farrakhan wasn't gonna do too much. He was gonna create him a religion and make his money on that end and give you half truth that way. But this Negro, he go certified on some. Oh, I'm gonna go with the African stuff. And then I'm going to get them on that and we'll make some money that way. Because all these niggas talking about some money. Everything that comes away from the truth is about some money. Let me get that. Everything go back to these Negroes trying to make some money. And they setting traps for these people that want to listen to their ignorant behind. 26, it say, for among my people are found wicked men. They lie wait as he that set it snares. They set a trap, they catch men, as a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit, listening to the devil. Therefore they are become great and waxing rich. See, they pushing what the white man pushing. That's why it's deceit, because this white man has been pinpointed for his whole kingdom is ran off deceit. Look at what it say. 39, it say, are not you... It say, are not thou it that remaineth of the fourth beast, talking about America and the so-called white man, whom I made to reign in my world. God made these dragons to reign. It said that the end of their time might come through them. So the end of the world gonna come through these red dragons. And look what it said. And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past and had power over the world with great fearfulness and over the whole compass of the earth, which much wicked oppression, slave master, and so long time dealt he upon the earth with deceit. See, that's what these Negroes doing. They just taking the deceit that the white man done pushed out there, and they regurgitating the crap. And they laying traps for their people. Oh, let's go. I'm going to get on this African stuff. That was a good trick by the white man. Oh, I'm going to get on this Muslim stuff. That was a good trick by the white man to push some darn Muslim religion on these Negroes. See, that's all they doing. But I'm gonna leave it there, man. What they call them, raccoon consciousness. Do not listen to raccoon consciousness. He don't know what the heck he talking about. 3 million years and Constantine. Get the heck out of here, man. All praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Rekal Dash, double honor to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.